Hello everyone, I am Mr. Ashok Kumar from vtuprojects.com and AKLC. In this video I am going to briefly explain you about the project workflow management system for scalable data mining on clouds. So all I am going to do in this particular video is explaining you what actually this project does. I am not going to bother about how we are implementing this, okay, because you are just started to learn this project. You are not a master of it, so you will be requiring a lot of time to understand the implementation part of the project, okay. So I request you people to go to your college coordinator and explain the project like the same way I am going to explain you in this particular video, okay. So definitely they are going to ask you one or more questions like, tell me more about the algorithm or tell me more about the technologies, etc, etc. So whatever questions they are going to ask you, so just promptly reply them saying that you just started to understand this project, you are not a master of it, so you will be requiring 1 or 2 days of time to answer those questions, okay. And all those questions your colleges are asking you, you people should be immediately redirecting it to me on this phone number, or you can type all those questions and mail it across to me on this email address. So I am going to answer to those questions immediately, and then you people can go back to your colleges and answer to them, okay. So these are the things that I'm going to explain you in this video. First I'm going to walk you through some of the quick facts about this project that you need to know, and then I'm going to mention the problem statement for this project, followed by existing system and their drawbacks, and proposed system and their advantages. So at last I'm going to mention hardware and software requirements. So coming to the quick facts, so these are the things that you need to know at any point of time, because anybody can ask you these questions at any instance of time, okay. So please keep the answers for these questions ready. So let me tell you one by one. So the first one happens to be the base paper. So a base paper in the sense, where did we get the idea from, okay. So we got the idea about this particular project from an IEEE 2016 transactional paper. So this is where we got the idea from. So this is the latest IEEE paper available, and then the domain of this particular project happens to be data mining, and the algorithm in the sense the core technique that we are going to implement in this particular project, okay. The IEEE author calls the core technique that we are going to implement in this project as DMCF, okay. So to expand this DMCF, we call it as data mining cloud framework, okay. Author mentioned this as DMCF, okay. And the number of lines of code that we are going to write for implementing this project alone will be around 4,000 lines of code, okay. So I could say this is really huge, because any other student from VTU or any other student from any other institute, even an MTech students as well, so we'll be completing the entire project within 1,000 lines of code, sometimes within 1,500 lines of code, like that, okay. But this particular project alone will be requiring 4,000 lines of code, and we will be giving a proper justification on why each of these lines of code are required, so that it will be easier to understand as well, okay. So I could say that you are actually implementing 4 times of what actually VTU is expecting you to do so. So, and coming to the last point, the percentage of database used, I could say we will be using lesser than 10% of DB for sure, okay. The reason why I am mentioning this particular point is because VTU have a restriction saying that only 20% of the database can be used at max, okay. But we are in pretty safer side, because we are using only 10% of the database, okay. So after completing the development of our project, so we are going to compare the ratio. We are going to calculate the ratio to the number of lines of code we have written to the number of amount of data we have stored in the database, and we will prove that it will be lesser than 10%, okay. So we are in a pretty safer side, okay. So now to state the problem clearly for this particular project, so I believe you people know what actually a workflow is, okay. So now assume that you are going to run a data mining algorithm, any of the data mining algorithms, say associative rule or clustering algorithm, some algorithm you are running on some huge amount of data, okay. So actually it will be taking a huge amount of time, right? So when you are running an algorithm against large data sets, typically it will take huge amount of time, Okay, so the problem is the executor of this particular algorithm, I mean the one who executes the algorithm, will not be knowing where actually that algorithm is currently executing, what is the state of that particular algorithm, right? So this is the problem statement actually. So he will have to wait till the entire algorithm completes. Only after that he will be getting to know the result, and then he will be able to debug if there are any errors or something like that. The main problem is he should keep on waiting for the completion of the algorithm. Okay, so what actually we are trying to do in this particular project is we are trying to model that execution of data mining algorithm as a workflow. Okay, we will divide that entire execution of data mining algorithm into multiple stages, and we will notify the creator of that algorithm, I mean executor of that algorithm, about the status of that execution. Whenever there is a change in status, I mean whenever that algorithm moves from one stage to another stage, we will send him an automatic email or automatic message to his mobile, and we will keep on informing him. So with our project, the executor of our data mining algorithm will simply run that algorithm, and he will simply go off, and the status of the algorithm will be sent to his mobile phone or emails automatically upon completion. How simple it is, right? So rather than simply waiting for long hours for the completion of that algorithm, so we will take care of that, and we will only notify the creator of the algorithm whenever it completes. Okay, so this is actually the problem statement, and the solution also I just given it in a brief. So to formally mention the problem statement, I can say that when very large data sets must be analyzed and complex data mining algorithms must be executed. So this means that when we are executing a very complex data mining algorithm against a huge amount of data, okay, so data analysis workflow may take very long time to complete their execution. Okay, so this actually happens to be the problem statement. So what is the impact of this problem statement to the on the executor of the algorithm? So you will have to wait unnecessarily for long hours for the completion of this algorithm, right? Okay, coming to the existing system. So here I am going to mention the list of all existing systems available to solve the problem that we stated earlier, and also we will be mentioning the drawback of those existing system. But keep in your mind that we are not going to understand the working of existing system, because our IEEE author have already proved that none of these existing systems can be used for efficient workflow management system. So it doesn't make any sense to understand the working of these existing systems. So we will just mention the names of the systems available along with their drawbacks. Okay, so if you look at the IEEE paper that we have shared with you in an email, so don't get confused by seeing the year 2015 in the header. Okay, so please read that. In the header it clearly mentions that this article has been accepted for publication in a future issue. Okay, I mean the date of publication is not 2015. The date of publication will be later than 2015. Okay, so here in the top right you can see the year 2016, right? So if you want to prove that this paper is a 2016 IEEE paper, so all you need to do is just copy the title of this paper and search in IEEE official website. Okay, so IEEE explore.ieee.org. So this is the official website of IEEE. So just search that title here. Okay, and just click on search button. So there it will be giving out the results. Okay, so just wait for the result. So there if you can see, this is the IEEE paper that we are referring to, and it clearly says that the date of publication is 2016. So even if you just open that, in the summary of that IEEE paper also they will be mentioning it as 2016. So you can just scroll down and you can see date of current version, it will be 2016. Okay, and if you have IEEE access in your colleges, you can just download that by clicking this particular link. So once again you will end up downloading the same paper. Okay, so please try to convince your colleges, saying that in the header they have clearly mentioned that this paper will be published in a later issue, so it will be considered as 2016 IEEE paper as per IEEE website. Okay, so coming back to the existing systems, so please just go through that IEEE paper. Part 2 clearly mentioned related work. Okay, so here he mentioned the list of all existing systems that you people have to be aware of. Okay, number 1, Galaxy. Okay, Galaxy is the first existing system, and scroll down, now number 2, Taverna, right, and number 3, Orange 4WS. Okay, so come down and you can see lot of other existing systems as well. Kepler, eScience Central, ESC, Cloud Flows. Okay, scroll down, so there are some more. Okay, Pegasus, Ascalon. So towards the right, so there are even some more. WSP grade, YAWL, RapidMiner, like that. Okay, so there are lot of existing systems available. So you have also mentioned the brief working of it. So if your colleges ask for some more details about existing system, you can directly copy and paste from this paper and submit to them. Okay, so those are the existing systems for our particular project. So now let me mention the drawbacks of those existing systems. So drawbacks of the existing systems happens to be a couple of most important drawbacks. Okay, number 1, I can say none of the existing systems incorporates platform as a service. We call it as PaaS, as underlying cloud services. Okay, so I don't think if you can understand this point very clearly or not at this point of time, but if you can just go through some cloud computing materials. So cloud offers lot of services online, like PaaS. Okay, here in this case we call it as a platform as a service. Okay, so there are some other cloud services like IaaS, infrastructure as a service, and there is SaaS, software as a service. Okay, like that there are different services available that we can readily use from cloud. Okay, as the drawback here I have clearly mentioned, none of the existing system will be incorporating PaaS. Okay, every existing system will be incorporating infrastructure as a service, but none of them goes for platform as a service. Okay, sir, what happens if existing system incorporates platform as a service, and what happens if existing system incorporates infrastructure as a service? Okay, so I can say that all the existing system will be incorporating infrastructure as a service. The disadvantage of this is the solution will be dependent on a particular infrastructure. I'll repeat, the solution will be dependent on a particular underlying infrastructure. So if you implement a solution for Google Cloud, you cannot reuse the same solution in Amazon Web Service. You cannot reuse the same solution in Red Hat Cloud. Like that, for each and every cloud service provider you need to come up with a different solution. Okay, that is the problem if you incorporate infrastructure as a service. Okay, so that is what I meant to say in the first drawback. Okay, so in the second drawback I can say there is one more drawback of the existing system. I can say none of the existing systems have data visualization technique in their solution. Okay, so I mean the creator of the algorithm will not be visualizing the status of that execution stage. Okay, but we are going to provide some wonderful GUI where you can see what's happening within that execution environment, like that. Okay, so visualization is what actually attracts the end users, which is not there in any of the existing system, but we are going to provide some attractive visualization services. So these are the some of the existing systems along with the drawbacks of this particular regarding this particular project. So now coming to the proposed system, here I'm going to mention what actually we are going to implement in our project. So as I mentioned earlier, we are going to implement an efficient runtime system for designing and executing a scalable data mining algorithm workflows which overcomes all the drawbacks of existing system. I mean, once again we are going to implement an workflow management system to overcome the drawbacks of the existing systems, right? So I'm going to mention the advantages of our proposed system. So in the previous slide I mentioned a couple of disadvantages of existing systems, right? So obviously it's going to overcome those two disadvantages. Okay, so the first advantage is we are going to incorporate platform as a service. Okay, but all the existing system have been incorporating infrastructure as a service, but we are going to incorporate platform as a service. So hence the solution that we are going to implement will be independent from the underlying infrastructure. Okay, but whereas in case of existing system they are going to incorporate infrastructure as a service, therefore the solution will be dependent on the underlying infrastructure. So that means existing system has to change the implementation for Amazon cloud, they have to change the implementation for Google cloud, and they have to change the implementation for Red Hat cloud. But here in our case it's not like that. Okay, the same solution can be used and deploy our project in Amazon cloud also, and the same solution can be used and deployed in Google cloud also, and of course in Red Hat cloud also, without any configuration changes. Okay, that is the advantage if we incorporate platform as a service. Okay, and the second advantages of our project will be data visualization. Data visualization will be provided. Okay, so the creator of the algorithm and the executor of the algorithm can visualize what is happening within the system, okay, which is not there in any of the existing system. Okay, so that's the second advantages of our project. So, and the third advantage of our project will be we are going to implement the workflow. Okay, we are going to implement the workflow in general. Okay, meaning the creator of the workflow can design the number of steps required to run the algorithm. He will first design the number of steps required to run the algorithm, and he will design what has to be done in each step. Okay, and the same steps can be reused. Okay, the same steps, the same algorithm can be reused for a different data sets. Okay, so this is the third advantage of our project. Okay, so I'll just repeat it again. So the workflow management that we are going to create, it will be allowing the feature called reusability of workflows. Okay, where the creator of the workflow will be deciding the number of steps required to run the algorithm and what has to be done in each step. Everything he will decide, but the same thing can be reused for different data sets n number of times. Okay, so but these kind of facilities will not be there in existing systems. Okay, so this will be the added advantage of our particular project. So don't worry about the detailed implementation part of this because we are going to see that during the project development classes. But as of now, you just mention what are we going to implement, and how, what are the advantages of our solution. So now coming to the hardware requirement, we don't need any specialized hardware to implement this project. We just need a machine with 1.6 GHz processor, 4 GB of RAM, and a minimum of 40 GB of hard disk. Okay, this is the minimum configuration that we will be requiring to implement our project. Okay, coming to the software requirement, so here I am going to mention the detailed technologies that we are going to use in our project. Okay, so we are going to use some front-end technologies, and we are going to use some back-end technologies, and we are going to use some application servers, and we are going to use some database, and we are going to use various other tools. Okay, so in the front-end technologies, so I can say we are going to use HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Ajax, jQuery, and Twitter Bootstrap. Okay, so these are the technologies that we are going to use in the front end, for designing the front end screens. So in the back end, we are going to use Core Java, Advanced Java, and J2EE. So in J2EE, we are going to cover all JSP, Servlet, and JDBC. Okay, so these are the technologies we will be using in the back end, and we will be using Apache Tomcat version 9 for executing our project. And the database we are going to use will be MySQL. So we will be using MySQL database, but remember we will be using only lesser than 10% of the database, and apart from that we will be using Eclipse IDE for development of our project. Okay, so these are the detailed technologies that we are going to use in our project. Okay, so that's it about this particular project. So any questions or anything that you didn't understand from this particular video, so feel free to call me on this particular number, or you can type all the questions and mail it across to me on this particular email address. Okay, thank you so much.